Linkin Park return with a new lineup, a new album, and a lot hinges on From Zero. Whether it's good or not is huge. I am anti-interlude and anti-intro, but From Zero's interlude is Emily kind of chit-chatting and talking, which is a little bit more interesting than, oh, here's the album. It's not some scrap of music that never pays off in a meaningful way later on the record. So that's cool. I like it. If you've been living under a rock and just stumble upon Linkin Park's new record, this is your introduction to Emily Legweek. Chester is no longer in the band, and Emily is now in the band. I wish things were so simple. Sometimes goodbye's the only way. Oh, and the sun. I mean, the first song is the Emptiness Machine. I'm getting emotional. The first song is Emptiness Machine, which feels like an anti-Scientology anthem, but I don't think it really is. Emptiness Machine feels very much like a Mike Shinoda solo song with Linkin Park and Emily elements kind of added later in the process. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with building a song in this way. It's certainly performing well and mostly received positively from the fans base, but it got me worried. It got me a little worried that Linkin Park would be doing what so many 90s and 2000 bands are doing this day and age, which is reveling in their classic era sounds, returning to those one or two albums you like so much, and then just bringing in Dead Sarah's lead singer and just making her sing. And that, for me, is the difference between new Linkin Park albums being perhaps very good or the greatest that 2024 or even the 20s has to offer. It all hinges on that kind of crap poop. And I won't bury the lead. From Zero does change things up, even as the band does bring back previous eras of Linkin Park. They fuse 10% One More Light, 20% Meteora, 15% Concentrated Hunting Party. Okay, that's really corny. We're not going to do that whole thing. From Zero has a lot of Hybrid Theory and Meteora. It's got a tiny bit of Hunting Party and One More Light. And the rest of Linkin Park's catalog does get winks and nods along the way, here and there. But From Zero is very much introducing us to a new sound, and it does have a few new sounds that are introduced to the band's soundscape, whether it be Mike screaming or rapping in a different flow than he usually does, or Emily showing off several singing styles. We haven't heard Emily rapping yet, but maybe that's coming in the future of Linkin Park. I look forward to it, maybe on her third or fourth record, maybe. Cut the Bridge is defensive in lyrical tone, much like this entire record is defensive lyrically. It's kind of you're messing with me, but I'm tough. It's a hard rocking song. It's a good heavy tune that gets us in this new groove of 2024 Linkin Park. Heavy Meteora flavored instrumental track here. And with the album leading into Heavy Is the Crown, that song title is pretty clear indicator of what this album's heaviness scale is so far. But if you're asking yourself, why is everything so heavy? Then just wait until after Heavy Is the Crown. There's some lighter tunes and even One More Light vibes to come. Don't worry. And they've done it better this time than in One More Light, at least in a more artistically satisfying way. The microphone is indeed on. Heavy As the Crown continues Emily's ever-evolving scream, and if you aren't aware, there is a new version of Heavy As the Crown out with Mike and Emily kind of doing a different remix or different vibe on the track, which is pretty skibbity toilet, I think. So over each other, pulls back the screaming defensive Linkin Park skin for a more singy defensive Linkin Park. It's a bit more mellow, and really shows that Emily can do a musical number with Linkin Park, and the other guys don't need to crowd around her so much. Is just let her breathe, like the song is kind of saying. Just give her space and let her do her thing, and she'll rock. She will rock the soft side of things. She'll rock the hard side of things. And I can't decide if Casualty sounds more like victimized or guilty all the same. So you tell me in the comments which one you think it sounds more like. I dug through the track list of both those records, and I just can't pinpoint it exactly. But they've been playing this one live. They debuted it the other day, and it would not be a stretch to say that this is probably going to be the last or the next single from the record when the album comes out. Mike really explores his vocal fries on this track. They're not French. And he sounds angrier than he's ever sounded in his entire oeuvre. So that's pretty cool, getting Mike to lose it. Just lose it. Word-wise, Casualty is screaming against a secret keeper lurking in the shadows and refusing to give up. I've given up! If you can't hear Chester singing this one, you might be completely deaf. In which case you can't hear me saying that, so it's fine. But screw the past, right? And Overflow certainly does screw the past. Not a pooch, but the past. It's bizarre, it's hip-hop instrumental, and it stands unique in all the songs of Linkin Park. And this is what I wanted from Zero. The band, Linkin Park, stretching beyond their confines of popular rock band status, and Overflow does just that. It does it beautifully, and it balances the emotions of the record a bit in a different kind of category. It's a song that may take a while to wrap your head around it. I know I'm still kind of trying to let it wash over me. And it's not my favorite. It's not my favorite song off the record, but it definitely displaces how Linkin Park can sort of evade falling into the traps of their own style, even if it's a style that they created. It is getting a bit battle worn at this point. It definitely needs a battle symphony. Two-Faced is pure hybrid theory rock, if that's what you're looking for. And Stained is the poppiest song on the entire project, the entire record. And while I do enjoy One More Light, I think the band have really perfected that sound with this one, which could be the strongest, slower song on the record. With Emily in the spotlight again on this one, it really pops. It's really crisp. It's really nice. I Gave You Everything I Had is a completely new Linkin Park sound, which has been on this record throughout, even as it's been blended with Meteora or hybrid theory. This new sound has been in every track in some capacity. From the intro to Good Things Go, the final track on the album, is a moody rap to end things, with Mike Shinoda really containing some of the heaviest emotions of the entire project. Linkin Park survived the lineup changes and supposed fans acting like trolls, but is from Zero one step closer to the right direction for this band. That was very corny. From Zero, it definitely is going to end up in my best of 2024 year in list, which is coming up on the channel, and it's cracking. This one is certainly cracking the top 10, and if I'm being honest, this 5 out of 5 album is probably going to be top 3, in the top 3 of album of 2024. Stay tuned for that year-end list and a ton of rock content. And